Okie dokie guys, Mrs. Ackland here. We are going to do converse of the Pythagorean theorem. If you want to learn more about the Pythagorean theorem or the converse of the Pythagorean theorem, you can click down here on this lesson, the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. Basically, the Pythagorean theorem says, I'm going to give you guys the rundown here, that if we have a right triangle is just a triangle that has a right angle or a 90-degree angle, then there is a special relationship between the sides of that triangle. So if we take one of the legs, these are our two legs here, we'll call them A and B, and this is our hypotenuse C, okay? That if we take our legs and square them, square the values, and add them together, they will be equal to the length of the hypotenuse squared. Okay, and we've used this in our geometry class quite a bit. And usually what we're using it for is we're trying to find the hypotenuse. So we actually rearrange this and we say that the hypotenuse is equal to the square root of the sum of the sides squared. So the square root of a squared plus b squared. And this really is what we are going to use to solve our problems today. This right here. Okay, so let's read our problem. It says a triangle with side lengths of 12, 16, and 20 yards. Sorry, a triangle has side lengths of 12, 16, and 20 yards. Is it a right triangle? So let's go ahead up here and let's erase the A, B, and C, and let's label it with these numbers. It really doesn't matter where you put the numbers, except that your biggest number has to be the hypotenuse, because the hypotenuse is the longest side in a right triangle. So we'll put the 20 there, we'll put the 12 here, and we will put the 16 here. And if this is in fact a right triangle, then this relationship must hold true, okay? In other words, if we take the square root of 12 squared plus 16 squared, we better get 20 as an answer. And if we don't, then we're going to say that it's not a right triangle. Okay, so let's pop over to our Desmos calculator. Let's clear it out. Okay, so we're testing this out. We are using the Pythagorean theorem. We're putting in the two smaller numbers for the legs. So we're putting in 12 and 16. So it's the square root of 12 squared plus 16 squared. And look at that, we get 20 as an answer. And 20 was the biggest number. 20 was the hypotenuse. So this is true. The square root of 12 squared plus 16 squared does equal 20. And so this must be a right triangle. And we are going to say yes. Okay, and this is going to get a little faster as we go through these. And by the way, guys, there's literally like no other variation of this problem. The numbers might get bigger, or, you know, who knows, maybe decimals or something like that, but there's really not any other question that they could possibly ask. All right, so for this one, it says we have sides of 7, 11, and 12. So my two legs have to be the two smaller numbers, 7 and 11, and my hypotenuse has to be the biggest number of 12. So I'm going to go back over to the calculator, and I'm going to put 7 and 11 in to our Pythagorean theorem, and we should get 12 as an answer. Let's see if we do. Okay, so square root of 7 squared plus 11 squared. Ooh, and we don't get 12, we get 13.03. So this is not going to be a right triangle. We're going to say no. Okay, we put in 7 and 11 into our Pythagorean theorem, and we did not end up with 12 as an answer. So we say no, it's not a right triangle. Okay, next up, I'm going to underline my two legs. So 7 and 15 are my legs. Those are the numbers that are going into the formula, and 16 is the answer that I'm hoping to get. So 7 and 15, let's pop them in. Square root of 7 squared plus 15 squared is equal to 16.55. That's not exactly 16, so we're going to say no. Okay, so these numbers are getting a little bigger here, but we're going to follow the same process. We're going to underline our legs. It's the two smaller numbers, and circle that hypotenuse. So we're going to plug 31 and 76 into the formula, and we're hoping to get 79 as an answer. So 31 and 76. So 31 squared plus 76 squared. We're getting 82.07, which is not equal to 79. We're going to say no. Okay, next up, 39 and 52 are our legs. 65 is going to be what we're expecting to get as our answer. So 39 and 52. 39 squared plus 52 squared. Ooh, it is equal to 65. Is that what we had? It is. Okay, that's what we were expecting. So the square root of 39 squared plus 52 squared does equal 65. So that means that this would be a right triangle. We are going to say yes. Okay, I think I'm going to stop right here. There really, as I said, there really isn't too much more that you could see in this exercise. It's going to, all the problems are going to follow the same format. Let me know if you have any questions.